Hey everybody, this is the Tennessee Hangman, Larry Cooter, and you're listening to Give Me Back My Pro Wrestling.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Give Me Back My Pro Wrestling.
For those who don't know, now you know, baby. This is Hot Rod Biggs, Jared, Jimmy Street. We're going to take them to the limit one more time, baby, right here on Give Me Back My Pro Wrestling.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome one more time to the Give Me Back My Pro Wrestling podcast. And I'm here with the Territory Wrestling Guru and the co-host with the Mo-host, Quinton Quarisma. What's up, Q? How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good. How you doing?
Man, I'm doing all right. And the Plastic Sheik will join us later in the interview with Larry. Right now, it's just me and Q. And Q, man, to start things off, obviously, we've got a good one today with Larry Cooter. Larry was there from the start of me being in the business, so it'll be really cool to talk to him, man.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be cool. I remember when he first got started, and it's kind of, I look back and it's like, wow, he's still going.
Yeah. He doesn't know the word quit. So definitely appreciate having him on. I can't wait to talk to him. First off though, let me just say this, rest in peace to Mark Donovan, Honey Badger. Very, very sorry for your loss to the family. Our condolences and prayers are with you all. Quentin, you want to say something about Mark?
Yeah, man. Mark, when I first started around Middle Tennessee, especially in Shelbyville, actually first time I went to Shelbyville, he was there, met him, worked around him for years and worked against him. One memory, man, it just has always stuck in my mind about Mark. We were at this high school. It's outside of Shelbyville. They only run it like once a year. I can't remember. It's like Liberty or something. I can't remember the name of it, but they run it like once a year. And I remember I was in the dressing room and he came in. He was smiling, and people was like, "Why are you so happy?" He said, "Man, I remember." He goes, "I just bought me a new car," and I was like, "All right." He's like, he said, "Everybody come out." He made everybody go out there and see his new. He was so happy that he bought this car. And man, it was just. And I'll never forget that, man, that I've never seen somebody was just so happy. I mean, he was so proud of himself. He bought this car. And that memory always, out of all the stuff wrestling, that right there, because I was like, man, he really, bought, I guess it might have been his first ever new car, but he was so proud, man. And I was like, and that's always stuck with me about how he was so proud that he finally got him a brand new car.
Yeah, that sounds like a real moment, and that's probably why it stuck with you, don't you think? Yeah, that's cool, man. Obviously, I didn't get to know Mark. I don't even know if I got to meet him. If I did, it was brief, but, we've heard about his struggle here while we've been doing this podcast. And, we know he's in a better place, and, I know his family misses him, and we just want to give our condolences and let them know that we're praying for him. And we'll keep y'all in our prayers. So, one thing that to kind of come out of that, there's no real easy way to come out of that and go into something else. But one of the things we're doing right now is if you buy a t-shirt right now from our Give Me Back My Pro Wrestling tees, 100% of the proceeds through September 30th will go to the Right Way Reunion. Talked to Shane about doing this opportunity, and hopefully, you get your Give Me Back My Pro Wrestling t-shirt and you support the Right Way Reunion at the same time. Hey, there's nothing better than that, right, Q?
Oh, yeah. Great. It's a great deal.
Yeah, absolutely. And honestly, we've got some of the cheapest shirts on the internet. Yeah, most of them are at $18. So for $20, you can get a great t-shirt and support the Right Way Reunion. So I think that's a win-win.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
Before we get to Larry, I got to say, of course, September 20th, you got to be there. If you're going to be anywhere close, it's Canada Slam Fest, Montreal Wrestling Convention, Hotel Ruby Foo, 7655 Descaries Boulevard. That's with our buddy Captain's Corner. partner, the good buddy Nick. We greatly appreciate all the help you've given us. We've got some cool stuff coming up with him. I know the Portland phase is about to open up. Q, I know you're excited about that one. So.
Oh yeah, that's definitely. I love Portland watching it, man. It was that territory doesn't get the recognition, and so I'm glad these guys are doing the convention scene finally and getting the love that they deserve.
Absolutely. And honestly, can't wait to talk to as many of them as we can. We'll have some more information coming up about that, but that's, I think, going to be the Portland Wrestling Expo, February 21st. But let's not get too far ahead of ourselves. Today, we have the one and only Tennessee Hangman, Larry Cooter. Quinton, you ready to get him on?
Let's do it.
All right. We'll be right back with the Sheik, with Quinton, with myself, and most importantly, Larry Cooter, after these messages on Give Me Back My Pro Wrestling.
Hey, my name is Tammy Reynolds. I am the wife of Forsaken Rick Reynolds, that super cool guy that everybody knows and loves. And I represent West Side Sauces. I make sauces, I bottle them, I seal them, I sell them. I have a hot honey sauce, I have a sweet sauce, I have a hot sauce, I have a white sauce that's so yummy you can use it on everything. They are absolutely amazing and I'm so proud of them. We make them from scratch. So go on our website, westsidesauces.com, check out our products, read about our story, and go online and order you some of these yummy sauces. And Rick actually uses all of the sauces because he is a die-hard smoker and griller, and so he likes really good sauces and rubs, and I make them, so how convenient is that for him? Go on our website, westsidesauces.com, order you some samples, and I think you'll thoroughly enjoy them. Thank you guys. Be blessed.
All right, we are back with more from the Give Me Back My Pro Wrestling podcast. And Sheik and Quinton, just like we were talking in the open, man, I've got a lot of history with this guy today. You know, I got to put myself on blast. I did ask this gentleman not even months ago, but maybe even years ago, to come on the podcast. And you know how things go, man. Time gets away. You know, one thing goes and another goes, and that's just how things are. But the good news is we have him here today, my friend, Larry Cooter. Cooter, it's great to have you on the show, brother. Thank you. Finally, right?
Finally, thank you for having me. I've been listening to most of them. I don't get to listen to all of them, but I have listened to most of these that y'all do.
We appreciate that.
Oh, you're welcome.
Absolutely, brother. That means the world. And, you know, I always love it when the guys I started, you know, and y'all were already years ahead of me, but when I started, the guys that I was working with, you know, it's always cool to hear that y'all listen. That means a lot to me. You know, if you've listened, then you know the next question that's coming. Sheik, he always takes the first question. So go ahead, Sheik, take it away.
So if you had a Mount Rushmore, I give 4 to 5, whatever you want. People you either like to work with in the business, influenced you, you like to watch their matches, whatever. If there's 4 or 5 names in the business, who's your Mount Rushmore of wrestling?
Well, I'd probably have to start off with Stan Hansen.
Oh man, love it.
Yeah, I've been compared to him a lot, so I've started watching more of his work. So
that's a good one to be compared to.
I try not to be a stiff, though.
Smart.
maybe you can see better than Stan could. I always heard he couldn't see good.
Well, now there was a time I wear contacts in the ring, but there was a time I didn't, so I was out there blind, and whew, it was there. Next, I'd probably have to go with Tully Blanchard.
Oh man.
Don't get him enough.
No, you don't really hear a lot of him.
Yeah.
On anybody's Mount Rushmore.
No.
Unfortunately, yeah.
Of course, you know, one of my favorites of all time is the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes.
Yeah.
Oh, can't go wrong there.
Oh no, not at all. And then I'd probably have to go with Jake the Snake.
Yeah. That's a great one. Man, that's a solid list.
That's an incredible list. That I don't know anybody else had anything similar to that, but that's an incredible list. You got a fifth guy, or is that you just want to stick at four?
Well, I mean, the fifth one would probably be my tag team of the Freebirds.
Oh, yeah. Dude, that's awesome. Golly, we love talking about the Byrds on here. Anytime that comes up, it's awesome. So, reminding me of the Freebirds, it reminds me of my younger days, right? And so now that you've kind of said, you told us about your age a little bit there, but talk about your younger days, man. Where were you born, and like when did you start liking pro wrestling?
So I was born in Nashville in '85. So my first memories of wrestling was probably the late '80s, early '90s.
Yeah.
So, of course, the red and yellow ran wild for a while.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that was watching Hogan. I mean, my parents, I remember a time when, like, WWF did not really come to Nashville. They done a house show. They actually went to the Murphy Center at MTSU. And my parents took me there when I was like 3 or 4, and that was my first ever live event.
Nice. Dude. That's awesome.
Incredible.
Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah, that's probably my earliest memory of wrestling.
Yeah. Okay. All
right. So when did you start getting the urge to think this is what I want to do? And when you got that, who's your trainer, and how did you find that person or persons?
Well, it was my senior year of high school, and a good friend of mine who I grew up playing other sports with, his bus driver was Brian Cheatum.
Yeah, I knew that was coming. As soon as you said bus driver.
So we met with Brian, set everything up, and then my buddy backed out, and I stuck with it. So eventually it became Cheatum and Chris Gatlin as my trainers.
Okay.
Originally.
Yeah.
What year was this?
And this was 2004.
Okay.
So 2-Bit was kind of the bump monkey, and then Skibo was there some. Rod Steele came in and out. So, I mean, Quinton, I know you know a lot of those guys from the WMF days.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
So a week after I graduated high school, Brian ran a show at the Grand Slam in Smyrna. I refereed a couple matches, and then I domed the Blazing Inferno hood and had my first match. And it was me. Jared Crow was under a hood, and we went against Rod Steele in a 2-on-1 handicap match.
How'd that go?
Well, I mean, I've been training a month. So, I mean, I was just basically in there to take bumps.
Right.
To make Rod look bigger. So, I mean, I got to ref Mikey Woods versus Corey Williams and Matt Dillinger. I think Tommy Bigfigure worked each other that night, and I ref that match.
Okay. Yeah. We've heard all those names.
I mean, and just getting in there and reffing and seeing how it's done. And then Mikey included me in his infamous titty twister spot, as he does a lot. I was just like, okay, this is something I want to do for as long as I possibly can.
You want Mikey to give you a titty twister for as long? I'm just kidding.
No, just wrestling.
I'm just wrestling. Yeah. No, you got that bug, man. You got bit by it. That's the thing.
I did. And from that point forward, it's been going on for the past 21 years now.
Man, I'm old.
I feel like we've got the story a lot where somebody went with a buddy and the buddy backs out on them. Guys, be there for your buddy. Come on.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, now don't get me wrong. After doing it and YouTube started to become a thing, all those people who kind of made fun of me for starting, I started training before I graduated high school.
Yeah.
So all of them kind of knew that what I was getting into, and they was all laughing.
Yeah.
And then 10-year reunion comes up, and we watch all your matches on YouTube. It's incredible. We want to come watch you, and I'm like, wow.
Right. Where was this?
What a change in 10 years. Yeah. No emotional support then. And now it's like, here we are. But none of, when are you going to be closer to here or closer to here? And
right. Yeah. Then they start doing the inch game. It's like, well, if you were closer, brother, I'd be there, man. I'm there in spirit, brother. That kind of thing.
Exactly. Just like when you was doing music, it's always about, when you're closer to me, I'll come.
Yeah, same thing. Oh, brother, I got work that night. Well, you said you were off. No, I'm working. Sorry. Yeah. It's just like that, actually. It's just like that. You know exactly what I'm talking about.
So in 2006, you went to work for Byrd. How'd you get that booking?
I got that booking at Byrd because I was already working for Porter.
Oh.
So Byrd had come down to the infamous Freddie Morton's auction house and found out I was kind of in the area. And I think Steve-O may have been booking for Byrd at that time. And Steve-O would use some of Porter's guys.
Yeah.
To kind of change out. Because back then, Byrd and Porter really didn't run on the same night because they was on good terms at that time. And then, 6 months later, they'd be on bad terms. So
it's hard to keep up with.
Yeah. I think we could do a whole show about them getting together, breaking up. And, so.
But when they broke up, it was for like a year and a half, 2 years. And then they'd be good for 8 months. And then it'd be all over again.
Yeah. So true.
All right. So in 2006, you started working for Main Event, NWA Main Event, Mike Porter. You and New York Gangster was the North-South connection. Talk about that a little bit, that tag team.
I mean, that kind of came about because we both got to Porter's about the same time. And LA Player was booking for Porter at the time. And they needed a tag team to work the Syndicate crew. So they kind of put us together and we was working the Syndicate crew every week for probably 6 months.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean I learned a lot working with Player though. Don't get me wrong. Love the guy to death.
Yeah.
You can learn. I learned a lot from him and carried some of that to this day from what I learned from Player.
That's cool. What are you expecting of your time in the business at this time? Like, let's take you back to 2006. Where's your head at? Like, is it WWE or bust, or where's your head at that time?
My goal was always at least TNA.
Okay. Yeah.
Because 06 been about 2 years in. When I got to Porter's, I'm like, okay, NWA was still kind of the same. Wasn't as big as it once was, but made it there. Maybe, in a few years I could be at TNA. That was kind of my logic.
Yeah. Okay.
It didn't happen, but.
Well, they're still there, brother. There's still time. Don't give up.
Oh, there he is. There he is.
Yeah.
They're just not looking at many 40-year-olds anymore.
Right. Well, hey, but still, dude, like some of the guys that are just now getting a push are in their 40s. So just stay in that gym, bro. But we'll talk about that in a minute.
So you started working for Saul in 2008 in Millersville. Where'd that booking come from? And talk about any favorite opponents you had while you worked there.
Well, I took time off when my oldest son was born.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd come back. I worked for Porter some, and Paul Adams was like, hey, man, I want to use you on Fridays in Millersville. You think you can make it? So I finally went up there. That's where they tagged me and Chris Kane together. And so we was kind of doing the tag thing. And that's probably the first time. That was my first time meeting Boogie. And that's when him and his ex-tag partner were tagging. I'm not going to mention any names because of their heat. But got to work with him.
Hey, don't worry. He's in the witness protection program anyway.
Seriously. We'd love to find him if possible.
Good luck with that, because I don't know if anybody knows where he's at.
I know.
I mean, we finally tracked down Tim Renesto. Now, getting him for an interview is a totally different question, but we've tracked him down. So don't give up hope. That's where we're at on things. So.
Right. I ain't seen Renesto since the Shelbyville days.
Wow. Yeah. I think he was at the Hot Rod tribute, right, Quinton?
He was. Yeah, he was there. Yep, sure was.
Yeah. So he's back in town. That's what we've heard, at least. So Yeah. So this is the part I've really kind of been excited to talk to about the most, because I did notice, as I was doing research for the show, I noticed that in 2008, you worked through Saw and you do some stuff. And I think you may have gone to a couple different ones and twos, maybe Main Event again once or twice. But then you take a break and it looks like there's a big gap, kind of like about 2 or 3 years. Where's Cooter during that time?
That was the birth of my second son.
Oh, okay.
So I took some time off.
Gotcha.
I was just trying to make sure I was financially stable, having 2 kids at that time.
Yeah.
And just making sure they're taken care of.
Manning up. Nothing wrong with that, In
'09, you came back and worked some for in Laverne, didn't you? I think I remember seeing you there.
Yes, sir. I did. So I left Saul, went back to Porter's. That's when Porter had the fairgrounds, and I would go to Laverne some on Saturday nights if Porter was not running a spot show.
Okay.
Got it.
The first time me and Quinton met was at WMF when Brian ran those shows in '04, because I think that's when Jablonski was doing the hooded gimmick, I think.
Yes, he was. I don't remember meeting. I don't remember meeting you that night.
Well, here's the thing. I wasn't Larry Cooter then, because you know how Cheatum was. That's your future character. Let's protect it. Let's get you fully trained. So I was actually going by Brandon Bradshaw at that time.
Oh, Brandon Bradshaw, double B.
Well, I mean, shoot name's Brandon.
Right.
So Brian was like, come up with something. He said the double letters always get over. He said, don't ask me why, they just get over in this area. So come up with a letter.
Yeah.
So
I don't know anybody else with a good double letter name than Brandon. Oh wait, Quinton Quarisma. I'm sorry. Yeah, what did I even think? Double Q.
I remember that. Yeah. I remember those few shows that Cheatum ran there, because I remember Matt Dillinger just bought this new Harley Davidson and rode it out to the ring and almost wiped out on it.
Yeah. And I think that one of them he ran, Steve Lane was running late, and he come in gear, damn near went through the garage door driving up, because their music was playing as he pulled up.
Yeah. That's funny. Oh my gosh. Is there video of that? Monte Carlo, where's that at? Let's see that.
This was after Monte.
I don't remember Carlo being there.
Okay, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. Got it. This was like Cheatum was trying to make a return, but only ran like 3 shows.
Yeah.
And he quietly retired, because then after he retired, Gatlin kind of stepped away, and that's when they passed me off to finish my training with Mikey Woods, Buzzed Up, and that's where I met Plunkett and Norte at.
That's a crew right there. Say those names again. You said Buzzy and Plunky
and Mikey Woods.
And, oh man, that's a crew. That's like a kill your liver horseman right there. Try to hang out with them.
I mean, that's when I think I was 19. Plunky and Norte were 18 at that time.
Man, yeah, young bucks, bunch of you.
Plunky still had hair.
Wow. So was he Jay Phoenix at this time?
JP Dangerously.
Oh, even before that.
Yes,
what am I talking about? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. JP Dangerously.
He didn't become Jay Phoenix until he got to Tony's, I do believe, right, Quinton?
Yep.
And so is that why you call Plunky JP, Quinton? Is it because of that?
Well, I've always known him as JP.
Okay.
That's why I introduced as JP. That's when they ever called him.
Yeah, when he first introduced himself, it was JP.
Got it. Okay.
So if you say JP in a locker room that he's in with all these this younger generation, who are you talking about?
Right.
So you have to say Plunky, or they don't know.
Yeah. We're gonna make America JP again. Anyway, so I got to get to this because I'm dying to talk about this. So obviously 2012 comes around and a little place called NWA Main Event exists and Mike Porter is running it. And one of these days you're standing in the back and some goof from somewhere with a towel on his head walks in the door And I would just love to know what your first thoughts were when you saw the Goofy gimmick.
Well, I was like, kind of that gimmick kind of outdated a little bit. But then it's like, okay, well, he's a heel manager. That's good.
Yeah.
So, I mean, and I knew, like, who you had with you, you was getting a lot of heat.
Yeah.
So I'm like, well, he's doing his job.
Yeah.
Because that's when we were still behind the curtain and we could peek out and watch.
Right. Yeah, I love those days, man. I miss those days so much. But, well, okay, so you came back, and obviously you had taken your break with your second son being born, and you do you just go straight to Porter's? You say, hey, or do you go and say, hey, look, I'm looking for work again. Where can I work? And who got you there? Or was it just you?
Well, my brother was already back there.
Okay. Okay.
And then and Camaro got my phone number from my brother and gave me a call.
Oh, cool. Okay. Well, there's two names. Let's put them over real quick. Obviously, first, I'll say your brother, I think at one time was one of the best high flyers going out there. That's my opinion, and it is biased, but I'll say it. I always liked Shaun, still like Shaun. I hope he's doing well. Yeah, talk about him, man. So you started, and then obviously he followed your footsteps, right?
Yes. Correct. Okay. When he started, he was still under the age of 18. Okay. So he started when he was like 15, 16 years old. Yeah. And kind of wherever I went, he went because, of course, him being underage, he didn't have much option.
Yeah.
Of, well, where's Big Brother at this week? That's where I'm going to be at.
Yeah.
And then once we got to that, he had taken time off because he was born, there's three main valves in your heart. Well, one of his was not there. Oh. So he had taken time off to see what he could do and couldn't do. So he had come back to Porter's in 2011 because I came back to Porter's in December of 2011. So he had been there about 3, 4, maybe 5 months at that point.
Got it. Okay. Yeah.
Now he's completely out.
Yeah. I figured. I don't see his name. Yeah.
Well, he changed it from Shaun Fatal to Slick Willie Brewer.
Oh, well, I like that, actually. That's pretty cool. But I understand.
But yeah, he changed that because he was tagging with Brett Ison. They were the death dealers. They were kind of going any and everywhere. And it was just, I think my brother was kind of getting tired of being gone all the time because of work, between work, wrestling, and then the girlfriend he had at the time was just, I think the girlfriend more so on his mental health.
Yeah.
But now he's married, got 2 kids. He had open heart surgery last year to repair his heart.
Oh, is he doing good though?
He is. His last match, I did pull him out. He tagged with me, and then my oldest is now wrestling. But it was us 3 against the Star Twins and their baby brother, Austin Cruz. So family versus family.
Yeah.
So, and that was, he was fine, that being his last match, because it was his brother, his nephew, and he's just kind of ridden off into the sunset now.
Yeah.
So he closed the book of wrestling.
I miss seeing you dudes. Yeah, speaking of, obviously you brought up the guy who the mastermind behind all this stuff that was going on for us, and that was Aaron Camaro, obviously a good friend of ours, good friend of the show, longtime buddy. He's crazy, man. He's willing to take some chances, maybe because he just sees it and wants to do it, or maybe because it's a long formed plan. Either way, he puts something on paper and it's usually pretty magical, man. So talk about first meeting Aaron and what you thought of that guy.
I mean, I love the get up because he stood out. He wasn't like the rest of the ring announcers.
Right.
He kind of had his own little persona or gimmick, whatever you want to call it, and he stood out.
Yeah.
And with him being from like Wisconsin, there was a bunch of several different ideas. I'm like, okay, he's kind of mixing different stuff in different territories, and it's getting over. Let's see where it goes.
Yeah.
And he's still apparently doing good because of CHW.
Oh yeah, and I think he's working for Music City Wrestling now too, man. So he's a busy man. So he's all over. And what I like about Aaron is he's not afraid to try something, even if the guy's never touched the ring before in his life. And I can respect that about Aaron because he'll try something and he's not afraid to fail because, you know, he wants to try to succeed. And, you know, that's cool. One thing that I loved about the time there, obviously I got to manage Seven and Dyron. We all know about that. But the idea, you know, that I got a tag team too there, and that was very exciting for me, having you guys as the Expendables. Now, I know I wasn't there at the creation of that tag team. What happened and how did that come about?
We had always tagged off and on before that happened. Mm-hmm. We never had a tag name. It was just Larry Cooter and Shaun Fatal.
Yeah.
So we're like, okay, well, if this is going to work, we got to have something. And with us having different styles of wrestling, totally kind of like that's when the movie Expendables came out, he was like, hey, we're kind of like them. We're different. They were all different. None of them's the same.
Yeah.
So we rolled with it.
Yeah. And was that something y'all focused on? It did, man. It did. And y'all were a great tag team. I really enjoyed my time managing you guys. Was that something that was a focused effort on you two being different, or was that just you naturally? Like me and my brother growing up, you know, I played a little basketball. He was into amateur wrestling, and neither one of us were very similar in athletics, even though, you know, probably on the same level in a lot of ways. What about you and him? Were you all differently gifted athletically, and is that why you were so different in the ring, or was that something y'all said, hey, let's be different?
I mean, I'm, of course, bigger than he is.
Right.
I played more baseball, basketball, football. His first taste of organized sports was soccer, and then he got into baseball. Eventually, he got into basketball, and later on into football.
Okay.
So he's always been the smaller one out of the two of us. So he was always the guy that liked to do all the high flying.
Yeah.
I'm terrified of heights. So if you see me go onto the ropes, it's either I'm missing it for a double down or you're about to see something you ain't never seen me do before.
Oh, you're not even willing to try out a Beal?
I believe it or not, I've went to the top rope and dove onto Biff and Brett Ison on the floor.
Okay.
So wow. I'm like, okay, I can say I've done it once. I'm good.
Well, they were going to catch you. You can count on this.
You missed those two guys.
Yeah. And that's, I felt more comfortable with me being 230, 240 at the time. I felt more comfortable with that versus somebody a lot smaller trying to catch me jumping from the top to the floor.
Yeah. Yeah. Dude, let me speak on this guy real quick. I think a lot of Cousin Condry's gimmick. I think it's cool. But dude, Biff, nobody to me looks more like a daggone 70s, 60s, 70s traveling territory pro wrestler than Biff to me, man. He looks like he's been on the road and has wrestled in Portland and Mexico and Puerto Rico and Japan. He just looks the part, and I'm all about that. You know,
Bernard.
Yeah, definitely Brute Bernard. Yes, that's it. I love the gimmick. I've always thought Biff was cool. I didn't know him. I think he kind of came in after I'd left, or maybe I just hadn't met him yet when I left. But either way, man, I could put him over all day.
When you was in the Nashville area, he was still either probably Vicious Johnny V or Johnny Vortex.
Okay. I'm pretty sure I did meet him then. So
yeah. Sorry. He was kind of he's had more gimmick changes I can think of anybody else.
Yeah. It's a cool look, man. He's just blessed with a cool look. I just think he looks like a pro wrestler, like Brute Bernard. I'll never think of it in a different light now. But anyway, back to you, brother. So this is the funniest thing that I have ever seen in pro wrestling, and it includes you, Larry. So one night I'm managing you and your brother, and you are wrestling Matt and Caden, right? And they were the what was their tag team again?
Elements Elements of wrestling.
Thank you. And those kids were great, man. And I've got another story about them I want to bring up, but you all were incredible together. And one night you have Matt in a rest spot, and you would oftentimes, I would notice this, you would do something where you would rip their mouth open with your hands, or you would even put your fingers in their nose. And man, you had 2 fingers dug deep in Matt's nose. And the referee, Bobby, they called him All Night Bobby, is sitting in the ring and he's saying, Larry, break it up, break it up. And he's got his mouth open. And you take them 2 fingers from Matt's nose and shove them right into Bobby's mouth. And that is the funniest thing I have ever seen ever. I had to hide my face with the gall that was on my head. That's the traditional term for what I was wearing. I was dying out there, man. Do you remember doing that?
Oh, I do. And I actually had something on my finger out of Matt's nose, so Bobby ate it. A little extra protein that night.
God. Oh, that's awesome. Poor Bobby. Whatever happened to Bobby, man?
Man, when Porter left Trinity Lane, I don't know.
Yeah. Man, that guy was different. He was like, man, I won't work out in Saw. And I'm like, okay, brother, do it. And he never showed up. It was like everybody else did, but he didn't. But yeah. One of the other nights that this story was great, and I never got my receipt, and I'm waiting for Caden to come out of nowhere with it. But I believe you've cleared this up for me that night. We were in Westmoreland in that big center that everybody, when they described
like their Ag Expo Center, wasn't it?
Yeah, the Ag Expo Center. And see, I'm not as hip to some of the older buildings, and so when people would describe to me Grand Slam, and then I would see it in those WMF videos, I was thinking that's where it was. And then when I talked to you, Cooter, you cleared it up that no, it was in the Westmoreland Ag Center. And I remember that night, Bobby Eaton was there, Dutch Mantell was there, you and Shaun were there, the Elements were there. I mean, it was a great...
I think Cash Flow was there that night too.
Cash Flow and his whole crew. Yep, Tulsa King Bigfoot was there. And so that night, there was a spot, and we always did one spot where Caden would come hit the ropes, and I would either pull his leg or do something, maybe kind of hit him in the back with my cane or whatever. Well, for some reason, somebody wanted me to do it without looking, and I had my back, and I knew when Caden was going to hit the ropes that I had to bring my cane up. Well, not looking and being stupid and green, I cracked that kid in the head as hard. I mean, it was a shoot. I mean, it was pop, wasn't it, Cooter? You remember this.
It was. And the funny thing is, my brother drove us, and you was with us, and Caden was with us. It was a long car ride home.
I'm like, are you good, brother? You can hit me if you want. Go ahead. Just do it.
Yeah.
He's such a cool, nice kid, especially at that time. I don't know Caden now. Unfortunately, I hope he's well. I messaged with him a little bit on Facebook a few months back, but I hope he's doing well. I hope Matt's doing well as well. But it's just funny, man. I felt so bad about that because that kid was the least deserving of a tater of anybody, in my opinion. But
yeah, he was. But hey, it happens. It ain't ballet.
Right. And he got a goose egg on the back of his head. And I remember reaching over because you and your brother were in the front and I'm in the back with him. And I would reach over and touch it. And I'd be like, are you good, buddy? I'm so sorry. And it was such a pop. I mean, I can't even duplicate it vocally. It was because I remember you were like, oh shit.
Was it my brother that shot him off and pulled the ref, and it happened right there next to me, wasn't it?
Yes, it was in the crowd.
I think there's still video on YouTube of that.
Oh my God, match. I've got to find that. Yes. And Caden sells it. He has to sell it. There's nothing he can't sell it. And I'm feeling horrible, man. And you're just like, God, in the crowd, that I know y'all know that sound. Quinton, I know you know it. It's that, God.
because with me seeing that, I went ahead and tagged in to put him in a rest hold to make sure it was all right, because he probably didn't know where he was at for a good minute or two.
I felt so bad. I was like, all right. All right. Well, anyway, dude, I'll just say this, man. Managing you guys, some of the most fun I ever had, man. I mean that. Y'all really, it was a lot of fun, and I appreciate y'all letting me tag along with you. That was a lot of fun.
Oh, it was most definitely fun. But do you remember the night that we turned heel at Porter's against Matt and Caden?
Tell us about it.
Because everybody there was, the week after that mass exodus, everybody had left.
Right. Yes.
Oh, there wasn't but a handful of guys still there.
Right.
And we had a packed house that night.
We did. Yeah.
So it was baby on baby, and you came out after the match. They were up. You came out after the match. We're shaking hands, all the big baby stuff. You come out, slide us an envelope. We jump them. Boom, 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 boom. We get out, and that is after the Alabama LSU national championship game.
Oh, yes. Yes.
And there was a guy in maybe the fourth or fifth row. They're both wearing all their LSU stuff, and Alabama done won the national championship. And they're standing up, yelling over people, pointing at us. And I just look over, and I take my foot and say, "Hey, LSU, there's the 50. Come cross it," because they didn't cross the 50-yard line that game. And they're fighting over the people to get to us. And you're right behind me. What do we do? What do we do? And I wait till they get past that front row, and I'm like, run. And we're gone. And you're like, oh my God, I've never seen anybody get heat off of something like that wasn't wrestling Oregon.
Yeah. I'll never forget that now. And because I wasn't fully aware of what you had said at the moment. It hadn't clicked with me. And then all of a sudden I was like, oh my God, did he just call them something really bad? No, it was football, but it's important, They were going to fight about it. I love it. SEC
We're in the South. Football and wrestling's king.
That's right. That's right. Mm-hmm. And what was cool was that was quick, like a daggone Patriot missile right at those poor LSU fans. They didn't have a clue it was going to hit them.
No. But I mean, we were getting heat off them already, and here we go. Let's go.
Let's do it.
So, and it worked. It worked.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that, because now I'll never forget that.
All right. So, Cooter, when you and your brother doing the Expendables, who was your favorite opponents during that whole time y'all worked as the Expendables? Who was y'all's favorite opponents?
I mean, it was pretty much anywhere we went. If me and my brother and Matt and Caden were in the same locker room, that's the match. Yeah. It didn't matter what was advertised. If we were all there, they changed the card in the locker room. Y'all are working. It didn't matter if it was at Porter's, Saul, wherever. Like even at TAP, SWF, it happened pretty much all over all of them back then.
Yeah.
If we all were there, that's the match. That's what they wanted.
Who trained Matt and Caden?
And eventually, Matt was originally trained by Dr. Troy Eaton.
Okay.
Yep.
Very cool.
Sure was.
And the only reason I remember that is because Troy invited me and Chris Kane to come in to kind of help, where Chris was shorter like Matt, to help show things.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I was kind of there as the bump monkey.
Yeah.
So now Caden, I think it was originally like D'Angelo.
Okay.
I think.
Yeah.
I don't know for certain, but that's always kind of what I've heard.
Yeah. We got to get them on the show to find that out. So with I just remember Matt and they would come in and they would shake your hand in the old wrestler handshake, and I remember some of the boys like kind of ribbing them a little bit about it, and I remember something, and now it makes sense because Troy taught him, and that makes sense. I know some of the, because it would be Dante or Arvil or somebody, they would shake your hand and you'd be like, oh yeah, that's the old school stuff right there. You gotta love that. But it was like kind of weird when a newer guy would do it, I remember, and people kind of gave him some crap about it, I remember. Do you remember any of that, Cooter?
First time I ever met Chase Stevens, I done that, and he said, we don't do that bullshit. Shake my hand like a man. That's how I was taught. That's what Cheatum told me.
That's what Ken Steele taught me.
And Chase said that.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it was just weird because, JP and those other guys, you would shake their hand. It would be like if I shook your hand, it's a normal handshake. But some of them old school guys, you would get that cool. And it was always, I liked it because it was a nice touch because it reminded me of my Kenny, which we'll talk Kenny in just a minute, I promise. But it was always cool for me because it felt like history. You know what I mean? So I liked it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
All right. So the end of NWA Main Event, do you know what happened with that?
The Trinity Lane, I think the church wanted to go a different direction. I know, we had done one show there, and then he had Westmoreland that weekend, and we ended up going to a different show because it's like we can go a little closer to home, work for a different promotion for more money.
Yeah.
Because we know how Porter was.
Yeah.
I don't know. Because by that point, I think he had done dropped the NWA and was just main event wrestling.
Okay.
But after that, I don't remember seeing much more after that advertised Westmoreland show for him.
Yeah, I just didn't know if you knew, what happened to main event. Did he just decide to stop running? Did he get sick and quit? Or
I never heard. So
okay.
I don't want to say anything, and I not know.
Yeah. You remember when Dyron and who was it that had that? Was it Iggy that had that big fight at the concession stand? And this was before they left. I think it was Dyron and Iggy, and they had that concession stand.
I think it was.
And they busted Chips, and I remember screaming out, "Save the floor, Chips, for Bobby." He's got to wash that booger taste out of his mouth.
Yeah. I think that was the night that match happened and they done the concession stand brawl deal, and then that was their last night there.
Yeah, because I remember asking you, I was like, bro, I think you and I and Shaun had really been hitting a stride. And I was like, are you leaving? And you were like, no. And I'm like, okay, I'm probably not going to leave either. And that was kind of the decision. They made their decision. It is what it is. I'm not judging them for that. But I just remember asking you, are you leaving? I'm not leaving. Okay, I'll stay. That kind of thing. So
because I want to say that the night that happened, I think was Camaro's last night, and then the next week you was kind of taking over as the man behind the pencil.
I think it was Charming Charles. I think Camaro had already left, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay. That may have been it.
And I should have never had the pencil, even for the 2 or 3 weeks I had it. But thankfully, Plunky and Lee and some of the other guys, and I had so many. But I felt bad, man, because it felt like I would be like, man, I can't even manage my guys much anymore because I'm having to do this stupid stuff. And I don't even know what I'm doing. I don't even call it booking, because to call what I did booking is a disrespect to Quinton, Dante, to anybody who's Jeff Daniels, anybody who's Shane Moore, anybody who's really done it. I was a disrespect to them, but it was fun while we tried. Yeah.
We'll say matchmaker. How about that?
There we go. I feel much better about that.
I don't know who's going to be here tonight, fellas, so we'll just put the card together once everybody got here.
That's right. That's right. That's exactly right. I remember Brian Lee coming in there one night, and he's like, hey, man, you the money man? And he's like 6'7", standing over me, and I'm like, no, sir, I don't have any money. Go talk to him. And he pointed to Porter. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So in 2013... you were working for ASW.
Well, I was at TAP, and they had given me the week off, and so I picked up the booking, contacted Mikey Dunn. He said, hey, contact Lawrence. He's my booker. So I contact Lawrence, go down there. I work Chris Kern and kind of put out there, hey, maybe future, is there any possibility I can be here kind of on somewhat of a full-term basis? And it led to me being down there until probably 2017, 2018, somewhere in there.
Yeah.
But yeah, we reformed the Expendables there. And one night they booked Matt and Caden against us there.
Oh man.
But we had that. But I mean, we had several different tag teams we got to work with there. One night, Dante got a receipt that should have went to Mephisto, from in the tag match. And because with working with him, you always had to wait, make sure which one you was in the ring with. But once you locked up, you knew who you was in the ring with.
Right.
And you always had to watch Dante on when to sell. No,
you
know when to sell with him.
Idaho.
But no, it was fun working down there with Lawrence and Mikey.
Didn't you work with Biff some?
No, that may have been because I know Biff and Brett tagged some.
Got it. Okay.
Biff and I really didn't tag because at that time is when Biff was going up and working for in Indiana.
Okay.
So Biff would come back down south after working real stiff up north, and nobody wanted to get in the ring with him. So I worked Biff a lot. And there was one night he hit me so hard I was standing up seeing stars.
Oh.
And I'm like, okay. I'm like, okay, this is my brother. I love him. So I feed back around. Boom. There it is again. I see stars. I'm like, all right, it's time. Boom. I feed around and give him one. He feeds over. He has to hold on to the top rope, and he's there for a good 10 to 15 seconds.
Oh,
after that point, he realized he was back down south, and we don't work that stiff down here. And we got to the back. He's like, brother, why'd you hit me that hard? And I said, receipt. And he said, you could have told me out there. Well, where's the receipt at then? He's like, I get it, but I did not. He's like, I didn't know where I was at. He said, everything turned white. All right, man.
Mephisto put me in that same spot not too long ago, right?
I seen him earlier this year at a show in Alabama.
Oh, man, love Arvil. Yeah, the best.
Oh, yeah, we stood there and talked a good 20, 30 minutes.
Yeah, he's the best. He
is.
And now a word from our sponsor.
Come heat up your summer over at Captain's Corner, the purveyor of all things wrestling. We'll be working with stars like Wheeler Yuta, King Haku, Coco Beware, and many more in the months of July and August. Also, make sure to mark down September 20th on the calendar as we present Slam Fest 2025. Montreal's first ever pro wrestling convention will be presented by Captain's Corner and our friends at LWA. Featuring The Godfather, Barry Windham, The Godwins, Doink and Dink the Clown, and a dozen additional stars. It all happens at Ruby Foods on the 20th of September. Make sure to check us out on both Facebook and Instagram at Captain's Corner. Cheers to the working man.
Hey, y'all there talking about receipts. Let me ask y'all, it's changing totally off topic. What do y'all think about that receipt from that Rampage Jackson's son on that guy Psycho Stu or whatever in that match? But somebody said that's not a receipt because a receipt happens in a match. But
go ahead, Cooter. You take that one.
Well, I mean, I don't know if y'all have seen all the videos because I've been seeing a whole bunch of different stuff.
Yeah,
and okay. He hits you with a beer can in the back, and then he finds out, hey, he's not a worker, he's a guest. He apologizes for it.
Yeah.
And then the guy that did the cowboy gimmick out there, you see a video of him, F that, get your effing receipt.
Yeah.
He got fired,
and he did, and he got fired from a shoot job.
Oh God.
Wow.
Dang.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah. I seen that today.
Yeah.
Now, one or two, okay, it's a receipt, but what he done went way too far.
Yeah.
They should have stopped it after they seen he couldn't defend himself after the slam.
Right.
I was wondering why. I mean, it took a while for that one guy to get there that actually did something.
Really, the ref should have jumped.
They said somebody said he was 17 or somebody was 17. I don't know who that was.
Well,
and so,
I don't.
Yeah.
But the ref looked inexperienced, so he may have been the 17-year-old.
Yeah, somebody was 17, they said, but I don't know.
Yeah, and it could have been, hey, this is the playing spot, because I did see a video where they were going to do something to maybe turn it into an angle.
Yeah.
And then that happened.
Yeah. I mean, I heard that brother had a concussion. Raja Jackson had a concussion from an earlier sparring session. And then first of all, Psycho Stu, I have never seen one person in my entire time of wrestling bust another beer can in the locker room of a show ever. I've never seen that. Have y'all, Quinton, Cooter?
I've never seen that. When I saw that, I was like, what is he doing?
Yeah. Why would he start that like that? Now, again, even if like, okay, Larry, you're active in the biz right now. If you see somebody that you would consider an outsider, heck, I remember you saying kayfabe, somebody's here, kayfabe. You would drop around and say that. But in your instance of seeing a new guy in the locker room, you're probably more or less going to try to stay away from him rather than engage him, wouldn't you?
Yes. I would rather, if he's new and he's in the business, he should be making his rounds, introducing himself.
Yeah.
And then, okay, he's one of us.
Right.
But if they're just standing in there looking at everybody, it's kind of like, who's this guy? Why is he here?
Yeah.
Of course, start talking.
Right.
And trying to figure out who he is.
Yeah.
But not going to him directly. We'll go at who's this guy? Who's he with?
Yeah.
We'll ask all those questions. And then it's, hey, we'll find the booker, promoter if they're back here. Hey, who's this guy? Why is he back here? If he don't need to be back here, he needs to be up there.
And you would do all this before busting a full beer can over his head, right?
Yes.
Okay, just making sure. Something I noticed on Facebook today, Nicola Roberts' baby doll, I'm friends with her on there. I'm probably sure y'all are too, but she brought up an interesting point that I hadn't thought about, and it's showing all these pictures of him in a hospital bed, and he doesn't have a bruise on him, no busted lip, he doesn't have any teeth busted out, his arm's got a cuff on it, but a man that just got the brakes beat off of him in the ring shows no signs of damage. It's really weird. And I was kind of leaning on his side a little bit. And now she's like, is this a work? And I'm like, holy cow. I wonder.
Those punches just didn't look like a work, though.
No, that was the best. If that was, he's got Jerry Lawler beat on punches.
Right.
I mean, he's got,
yeah.
I mean, he's got the best. He's got the best work punch ever. If that's
right. I don't know.
I mean, he could have been knocked out from the slam, and dude was kind of hitting more towards the beard and kind of covering the punch.
Maybe.
I think he was knocked out from the slam, though. I do think you.
I do. He was.
Well, I mean, think about it. Look how many matches. Yeah. Well, I mean, Rampage, his daddy used to knock people out with that slam.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I just meant he was dead on the mat, He was the Undertaker on the mat, And then he jumps on him. And he had apparently in his kick stream, which this is a thing the kids are doing these days, a kick stream, he's getting told what a loser he is and how he got punked out. And I guess the kids are what they call rage baiting him. And so they're just firing him up. And if you see that, you're going to get continually pissed about it. And then he jumps in the ring and makes a horrible decision. But yeah, man, it seems a lot of weird. And then I know that this is Rikishi's promotion, and they had that WWID deal with them, and now they've lost that. I think and will he get arrested? Who knows? Will he get arrested? Would he have already been if he was going to be? You think?
He did get. I do believe he did get arrested.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, got it. Okay, yeah. Well,
sorry to get us off topic. I just had the receipt thing came up. I thought it was a good spot.
Sure. Yeah.
They're good.
In 2017, you talk about how you got on with Lewisburg and Mikey Dunn. Okay, sometimes you was working in Tullahoma for SWF. Who was your favorite opponents and favorite angles down there in SWF?
I originally started SWF probably 08.
Gotcha.
So that's been off and on up until.
I think this was a major run for you, though, right? That was like
7. Yeah, I mean that was an every Friday deal for a while, and I always liked working Freak Show.
Yeah,
because it was just different. A guy that do death matches working the guy known for death matches. So I mean, it was different.
Yeah,
I think we only had one or two gimmick matches ever. And he's like, look, I know this is not your cup of tea. I'll take this, this, and this. You don't have to do that, but if you don't mind taking this, this, and this, because regular stuff. But I'd work freak show any day of the week.
Yeah.
I had a good angle with Bobby Lowe. I mean, Bobby was always fun to work with, and for his
How many
size,
times did he chop you?
oh, I think the first time me and Bobby ever worked, it was probably like 5 or 6.
Oh,
But you know how it is, Quinton, with some of those guys that are known for chops. Once you earn their respect, they may give you 2.
yeah.
Same thing with Lawrence. I worked Lawrence for a long amount of time, and it got to where he may hit me with 1 chop.
Man,
And
you look at Lawrence, you would not think that he would throw one of the hardest chops, man, you know?
Gypsy Joe.
that was them long, bony fingers.
Yeah.
And he could light you up, man.
He could. He could.
Yeah.
And there was one time they had me and Lawrence tagging at SWF. And that's when I was still doing the singlet, and I'd come out with the flannel on. So there was one night we tagged. Well, I had gotten a tie, and Lawrence always wears a blue shirt. Well, I had a blue flannel, and I got a white tie. So I come out to the ring wearing a tie with my flannel buttoned up since we were tagging that night. I mean, it was a cheap pop, but I mean, it got over.
But it fit your gimmick too, so that's even better. You know,
it did.
I like that.
So 2019, you're part of Team Wombat and Game Changer Wrestling with Nick Iggy and Biff against Team GCW. Tell us a little bit about that.
So Terry Awful got all that set up, and Terry was trying to give back to those that kind of helped him throughout his career locally.
Okay.
So the previous Wombat show before that one, we had done a deal where I ran in on Nick Gage and just put him in the claw. He's selling the claw. We do our spot. So fast forward back to that show you're talking about. It's a big Survivor Series style match.
Okay.
And we're in the back going over stuff, and Nick's like, we need to do a deal where all 8 of us are in the ring, big melee. He said, we need to pair off with everybody. He said, I don't give an F who y'all get, but I got Cooter. I'm like, okay. So, I mean, we worked, and to be the king of the death match, what nobody understands is he works more Memphis than half these other guys.
Wow. Really? That's cool. That's why George South loves working him, I guess, So
I mean, it's a night off. If it's not a death match, it's a night off.
Wow.
And I mean, yeah.
I would not have expected that. I guess, that just goes to show. So at what point did Mance Warner completely steal your gimmick? Oh, sorry. Did I say that out loud? I'm sorry. That didn't mean it.
I mean, he's at TNA and I'm not, so.
I get it, but I know you're not. You know what I'm saying. Come on, man.
Oh, I know. And the funny thing is, he was at PWA back in July, so I pick him up from the airport. And so we're, Kevin Martin's there, and we're talking, and he's in his early 30s, and he started working maybe mid-20s.
Really? Wow.
Yes.
So you literally, wow.
Yeah, that's why I was laughing, because, I mean, it's Cooter was first.
I mean, and there's like, when Damian Payne changed to John Wayne Murdoch, we started tagging, and then the accident happened in the death match, and he left the area, and he was basically doing my stuff.
Yeah.
Up at ends.
Yeah, and what's funny about him is I was managing him at Saw, but just before he kind of went on that John Wayne Murdoch, and I kept saying, man, you look like Dick Murdoch, man. You need to go by Murdoch. And I thought that I had some kind of sway in his change. Well, I bring that up to 4 or 5 other guys, and they were like, oh, man, people have been telling him that for years. And I'm like, oh, I'm an idiot. I thought I did something, and I did nothing. But he looks
you
like
may have been the one to push him over the cusp.
Hey,
you know what I'm saying? Like they talked him up, and then you just gave him that nudge.
Maybe. I remember asking him why he likes death matches, and he just looked at me like, man, I just love them. And I'm like, okay, dude.
I mean, where he's at now is probably a lot more money.
Sure. Of course.
Okay.
Yeah. So obviously you've talked about him. You've worked him on these shows several times, but 2020, you start working again for TAP. And during that time, you are tagging with you form another tag team with a great name and a good buddy of ours, David Knox, in Man-Made Destruction. So tell us about that tag team.
Well, that came about because the Stephen Mann was looking for a tag team to manage.
Okay.
And with COVID going on, they were one of the only shows kind of running with crowd. Everybody else was kind of live streaming shows or whatever.
Yeah.
So I think I was probably at my heaviest weight at that point, being almost 270 pounds. So It's like, this would be easier in a tag team.
Yeah.
My body's not taking the beating as much.
Right.
So, I mean, we take it and we run with it. And it got over. We got a lot of heat. And eventually, he kind of does his thing. And it comes a point in 2021, I was going to take some time off to kind of heal up. So Stephen Mann turns on me, turning me face to work Mikey Woods, builds to a loser leaves town match.
Ah, okay.
Of course, I lose, and the 90 days away, all that good stuff.
Yeah. Old David,
but Knox is
yeah, good dude.
Believe this or not, when Porter brought Jerry Lawler to Portland and Hollywood Video / Game Exchange sponsored to get Lawler there.
Yeah.
David Knox was the manager of that Hollywood Video and Game Exchange.
Wow.
He was in yes. But yeah, so he was there that night. So it's like, so he had seen, I think, what was that, 2010? No. Jeff was back over the books. This was probably 08, 09. That's when Porter still had TV.
Okay.
Because that night it was me and White Tiger against Darren Flynn and Chris Kane.
Oh.
So yeah, I mean that was way back then. And then years later, he tells me the story. He's like, "Yeah, I watched you wrestle that night because I was the one that got the sponsorship to have that show there."
Yeah, yeah. He's got that John Tenta like voice about him. I remember, he's kind of got that thing about his voice. But I like David, man. He's a good dude. I always appreciated when he was around for sure. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. What a guy to be able to balance he kind of did it in a way that I don't know how he did it. He balanced wrestling life and family life and professional life really well. And I guess when you're somebody like him who is somewhat, I guess, balanced emotionally, maybe is how you can do that. And I guess most of us, people involved in wrestling aren't emotionally balanced. So
not the way he is. No,
not the way he is. You're exactly right.
No, I mean,
yeah.
But you got to think he started later on in life wrestling, where most of us get in late teenage, early 20s.
Right. And I think that's where he and I clicked, honestly, because you had already been in the business several years, but you're younger than me. You know what I mean? So but I clicked with you guys because I guess you remembered what it was like to be green. So this old green guy walks in the door, and then David, I'm not going to say he's old, but you know what I mean? These green guys that have a little, gray in the beard, I guess. You guys took to us and helped us out. It's awesome.
All right. So in 2021, you started working for Resolute Wrestling. Now it looks like you're still working for some of them today a little bit. Talk about those guys and some of the matches you've had up there.
Caleb Courageous, that's his promotion. I'd always feel some Fridays if I was off from Jack's up there if I could make it to Crossville before then. But then about that time, I'm like, okay, let's go here. He's running weekly or bi-weekly at the time. And I think at that time, Biff and I were already tagging again as the Tennessee Assault Crew.
Uh-huh.
So we go up there and, had several great matches, and there were some shows Biff couldn't make it, so I'd do singles, and eventually Biff had left and I was doing singles, and he, Caleb built me up as one of the top heels of the company. And before I left full time from there, I worked a guy named Draven Frost. It was at Caleb's Big Summer Sizzler that year, and we jerked the curtain because main event's Chase Stevens and somebody, and then actually Mike Jackson's on this card.
Oh, dude.
And Yeah, and Mike's sitting out there at the gimmick table while we're in the ring. And we get done and we get to the back. Mike comes and he finds both of us. He says, I don't know how anybody's supposed to follow that match because I believed everything y'all done.
Dude.
And y'all jerked the curtain.
That's awesome. That is awesome.
So I always said that's probably my favorite match there, just to get that high praise from Mike Jackson.
Yeah. Because he's seen a match or two in his life, and that's awesome.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
So a young wrestler shows up in 2023 by the name of Landon Bradley. Tell us about him.
That is my now 18-year-old son who just graduated high school this year.
Man.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Me too, buddy. That's wild.
He's always wanted to do it. I mean, when I was at RWA out in Maryville, Tennessee, I was helping run the training classes, and Landon would get in there and do it too. So he started at about 13 training.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
And I think Biff and I had a booking somewhere, and he rode down to Tap one night, and he calls me, Dad, they're a baby face short, and they need, they need me to work, I'm like, okay, you can work, but it's got to be LBK or Gregory McDaniel.
Okay.
So he ends up working LBK. And since then, he's been off to the races.
That's awesome.
And we tagged. I mean, we worked each other some, but, he was still green, and you could tell it because, 15, 16 years old. We tagged, and it started to click more for him. He started to see things, and he understood the structure of a match better.
Yeah. Light bulbs
from
going
an old
off.
school perspective.
Yeah.
Right. From an old school perspective, and not just spot.
Right.
And when you watch him, you see me and you see Fatal. You see us both in him.
The blend. I was going to ask.
Yeah, he is very well blended. We did a show out in North Carolina, and he's working heel for the first time. And he's working another 17-year-old kid whose stepdad is in the locker room. And I'm working the stepdad later on. And we're both peeking out. We're both watching. And I'm like, I can't do my normal heel stick tonight because my son's doing everything.
He just stole it all.
Everything I normally do, he's out there doing. I'm like, well, I guess I'm kind of the tweener tonight because I've got a heel and a baby. I'm in a triple threat, so I can kind of run that tweener spot. But I couldn't do anything of my regular heel because he had just done it all 2 matches before I go on.
Yeah.
That's funny. But I mean, he knew it worked. At that point, he's like, well, what Dad's doing works.
Right.
And I mean, he still does some of it today when he's heel.
Even though he stole that from you, and that's funny, I'm sure that was an extremely proud moment for you, right?
Oh, it was. And he knows that.
Yeah.
But I took it from Mikey Woods, who finished up my training. So
right.
I know it works.
Yeah. Tried and true, time tested. Yeah. I was going to ask you who he reminded you of in the ring. And I'm glad you explained that, because I was going to ask you because I know he's, younger. So he's going to have a little more buoyancy when he jumps off stuff. And I'm sure he can handle bumps a little better. But, you're going to make him do it safely as well, which is good, so.
Yes. And our biggest tag match, we actually worked the Carnies. So.
Oh.
So Nick and Kerry looked at him. What do you want to do? And he kept looking at me. It's like, no. He's not in the ring at this time. Don't worry about what Dad's going to say. What do you want to do?
Dude. And
Nick went over everything with him to make sure he had it.
Yeah.
And which, of course, he had worked Kerry before in a singles match. Landon's worked a lot of older guys. So he's got to learn a lot of, okay, here we go. And then and now it's like, he'll call me. He's been working 3 years now. He's like, Dad, I had to lead this match. I'm like, well, that just means they trust you. Because, back when I was breaking in, it was unheard of for anybody under 5 years to be with somebody green.
Yeah. Yeah. But now
because they didn't want that match to go south. Yeah. And now it's okay. Well, they trust him to go out there and lead a match.
Yeah. Well, dude, that's awesome. I mean, at least they're seeing something that you're hoping they're seeing. That's good.
And now he did about a few weeks ago, he got to work old Magic Man Jake Dumas at TAP. And everybody that was there in the back that watched the match has given me feedback and saying that's his best match to date. You know, this needs to get out there. Jake Dumas has even told me himself, you got a future star on your hands.
That's cool, man. Yeah, that's awesome. Very cool. Is Landon Bradley what he's going by now?
Well, it is. He like when he first started, it was Chase Bradley, and then he done a little research and found out that was Chase Stevens' first gimmick name. And he told Chase this, and he's like, well, that's a great name. You should keep it. And of course, you know, he's like, I don't care. You know, I ain't used that name in years, but Landon Bradley is actually his shoot name. So
that's cool. Yeah.
I thought Chase's first name was Iglesias.
Oh yeah, that's right. It was something there for a minute. Iglesias. Yeah.
But no, I mean, it may have been, but he's seen where he used it.
Yeah. No, it's true. Chase Bradley you're right about that. But I do remember an Iglesias.
Jimmy did that interview, and he said that first match, Chase in his first match, he said his name was Iglesias.
Yeah, and he was working Tracy Smothers soon after that, and he was like, "Why did I get put in the ring with a chick?"
Yeah.
They trained me 3 days, I think it was. I think it was 3 days, and it was either 2 or 3 days. It definitely wasn't more than 3. Yeah. And that third day, it was like, "Hey, we had somebody no show. We need you on the show, this and that." So I'm like, man, I ain't got no gear or anything. They're like, oh, we'll come up with some gear for you. Don't worry about that. And so I get downstairs and they named me Glacius. So my name is Glacius on the card. And I'm wrestling this chick named Tracy Smothers. And her name's circled. And man, I'm so mad, dude. Her name's circled. I was so mad, dude. And that's when Bert see me. He was like, hey, get over here. So I was like, see, told you. I didn't know who Bert was. I had no idea that was Bert. I was just like, somebody, finally. So I get over there and like, he's like telling me like who he is and everything. And you know, I told him I was Chase Bradley. Right off the bat, he's like, I don't like it. And I was like, well, I don't really care what you don't like, you know? And he's like, we're gonna call you Chase Stevens. And I was like, oh man, that doesn't have a ring to it at all. Sounds kind of gay. And he was like, sweetheart, I am gay. And I was like, well, shit, I totally ain't coming out to it now. Like, you
know. Would you let Landon take a road trip with Chase?
Well, who's driving? I've shut the bars down with Chase. I know what he does after the show.
I know you have. Yeah, that's why I'm asking.
And he's also the one. I mean, he's also the one that ordered 2 Jack and Cokes, and he'll hand you one of them.
Right.
I mean, you don't even need another drink. He's sitting there. He keeps feeding you the drink.
Right. Or Plunky when he's like, here, you got to gargle this shot though, Jimmy. You got to gargle it. You can't just shoot it. You got to gargle it. And I'm like, brother, nobody wants to gargle whiskey right now.
No. But Chase, the first time I ever met Chase wasn't even at a show. It was at his house when he lived in Lebanon. We went over for a bonfire.
Huh.
Yes. He invited some of the guys that were working for Burt, and Chris Kane was there. So I was Chris Kane. I was his ride. So Chase was there, Cassidy Riley, James Storm, Andy Douglas. And that's when Chase says, hey, we're going to be at the Stadium Inn on Wednesdays, kind of running a training class to help the younger guys fine tune stuff. So I go do that for a few weeks, and then I call her the egg donor because she ain't been around. She says, I'm pregnant. So, yeah, I focused more on shoot job instead of going and getting more training at that time due to having Landon in 9 months from that point.
Yeah. Who can blame you there, though, you know?
All right, so in 2024, you started working for PWA, and that's out in Glayville, Tennessee, right?
Yes. Well, I mean, that was Bert's old territory. When he passed, the Star Twins got that side of the territory, as I like to say, and then KC Gold got the western half of Nashville.
Oh,
as I say.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, it's very, it's still people that work for Porter that night in the concession stand. They're working for Matt. So Jimmy, Leslie and Sarah and Steve.
Oh, tell them I said hey.
There.
Yeah. Yeah.
I will. I'll see them tomorrow night.
Okay.
But Biff and I started working there. It was probably before 2024. When I left Resolute full time, Caleb had switched to every other week. So Biff and I would be at Resolute 2 weeks out the month, PWA 2 weeks out the month. And then eventually I just went to PWA full time on Fridays because getting off work 3:30, 4 o'clock, you never knew what traffic was going to be like trying to get to Crossville. I mean, this is going to be easier if I just stay here.
Yeah.
Because Gladeville is 25 minutes from the house.
Yeah.
It has definitely become one of the top shows on a Friday night in the Middle Tennessee area.
Yeah.
Always changing up talent. Probably a lot of talent Byrd would have never used has been coming in.
Gotcha. I will say this, the flyers you post in the group are some of the best. And I know that don't mean anything for the show, but dude, they do incredible work on the flyers. I know that that's sometimes a sign of, hey, they're putting on a good product, but I was like, man, they do some good work. I'm glad you post all those in there because, it's getting the word out for promotions and stuff. But man, their flyers look nice and they always seem to have some solid talent on those cards. I know what you're saying though. I get what you're saying.
Right. I mean, it's you can't use the same talent as the other 20 shows in the area. Right. Or you're not going to draw anything. So you get different talent in there from different areas, and there's more asses every 16 inches.
I can tell that you have that mindset because I see that with you, who you work for. You tend to try to stay at a place instead of working for every promotion in Middle Tennessee, which we have friends that do that too. And God bless y'all. Y'all do what y'all need to do. Ain't knocking you one bit. But I've noticed that about you. You're kind of practicing what you preach. I can see that.
Yeah, because it's if I'm a fan and I see you're on 3 different shows, all within 30 miles of my house. Okay, now I'm going to look at which card looks better. Who's got guys that I hadn't seen in a while? That's because then they're picking one show you're on and not the other 2.
Yeah,
they're only going to go to one most likely.
Right. I mean, unless they're just a total Larry Cooter super fan, But
but like outside of PWA, I do the RWF in Gatlin, which is only once a month. The rest Saturdays, I'm going to East Tennessee or Virginia here in October again. But yeah, I'd rather travel on a Saturday.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I like that. Speaking of traveling, you segued perfectly, Cooter. You've done this before. Kenny Steele, man, we got to bring him up, and I was kind of saving him for near the end. Yeah, first off, let me just say this. I absolutely love and support. I just love that you still work for NICW. Every time I see that you're working there, it makes my heart swell, like the Grinch said, or whatever. Even after Scott took it over after Kenny's passing, Kenny Steele, I'll never forget. He was the first guy to ever give me time of day in wrestling. He brought me in the business and taught me everything I needed to know, not everything he needed to know. But he taught me what I needed to know. And I would work for him in like Low Gap, North Carolina, or somewhere in Floyd or somewhere like that in Virginia. And I started working at Porter's when I met Aaron at the Great Escape that time. And eventually it came to a point to where I could actually say, hey, Porter, can we bring somebody from somewhere else and book them here? And so Kenny and Scott were looking to come out to Nashville. I get them booked on a series of 3 shows, the Thursday night for Porter's, Friday night at Saw, and a Saturday show somewhere else. I think it was a spot show that Byrd and Porter put on together, if I'm not mistaken. Well, the first night
in Portland, Tennessee.
God, you're so good. Your memory is awesome. So anyway, on Trinity Lane Thursday night, Kenny works you, right? If I'm not mistaken, that was the
no. I I worked Ken in Portland.
That's right, because you worked Scott the first night, maybe. Am I wrong?
No, I think my brother did.
Okay, that's right. That's right. I remember managing against Scott. I do remember that. And then I managed Kenny. But at Portland, you two worked together. You and Kenny worked together for the first time ever. And after that, Kenny would not shut up about you, man. He was like, that Cooter kid's good, man. I like him. He knows what's up. He's good. I like him. He would always put you over every time. Oh, yeah, I want to book Cooter. And he wanted to book Seven. He wanted to book Dyron. He wanted to book all kinds of guys. But, man, he really drew to you. And I just want you to talk about Kenny a little bit.
That night, we got to talking, and he noticed, hey, this is a younger kid that understands the way of the old. And I think that's what we clicked over is young kid, old school mentality. And since, we'd always talk through Facebook. Yeah. He did bring me, my brother, and Seven up to West Virginia one time.
Right. I was supposed to be there. I was going through some stuff. We won't get into that. If you want to listen to old episodes, it's probably me talking about that. But anyway, keep going. Right.
But I can tell you this. Seven had got us a hotel room, and the closest hotel was still an hour away from the venue.
Oh, man.
So we're driving to this venue, and, that's when you still had to have a Garmin GPS or MapQuest the directions.
Right. Yeah.
There was no GPS on the phone.
Right.
So we're sitting there and it says turn left. Well, we look, there's no left. Another 100 feet, there's the left. And we pass it.
Oh, man.
At that moment, I started to realize, oh, shit, this is the state Wrong Turn is based off of. And we went 5 miles out of the way just to be able to turn around to get back down to the building.
Oh my gosh.
We had to stop at a gas station and ask for directions how to get somewhere. I'm like, and believe me, some of those buildings could have been used in Wrong Turn. That's how ran down they look.
I believe it.
But man, and then it was me and Dave Kinnear. We tagged. He done the Dark Ninja.
Yeah,
we tagged and worked Ken and Seven.
Yeah,
yes, and we tagged and worked Seven and Ken that night. And that was probably the last time I got to see Ken and work with Ken before he passed away.
Yeah.
But we had the fun. We caught up. We took a picture together. Because you never know.
Right.
Nowadays.
Yeah.
And I was supposed to go up to Virginia when he ran that big show at his alma mater high school, but I could not get nobody told me it was easier to get a money order and mail in for the Virginia license than it is to try to do it online. So I filled everything out online, and they would not take a credit card payment or debit card payment. But now I just print everything off, send it in certified mail, and 4 days later I'm getting a confirmation email. Here's your license number for this year, and you're good to go. And in 10 business days, you'll get your paper copy.
I still think that is license is a gimmick, but keep going.
I mean, that's the only state I've ever been licensed in.
Really? Not Kentucky?
I've never worked in Kentucky. I've passed through Kentucky going to Indiana and Illinois.
Wow.
But never.
Really? I mean, I believe you. You're telling me. I believe you, but that's surprising.
I mean,
yeah.
I mean, once again, there's too many Mike Porters up there in Kentucky when it comes to money. I've heard through the grapevine. So it's like, I'm not wasting my money, because now a Kentucky license, it's going up to $40 and a physical.
Ooh. Oh man. Jeez. Thanks, Ian.
I mean, the Virginia license is but a Virginia license is just $40, no physical, no health history, no nothing. Kentucky wants all that. And I heard when I done that first show in North Carolina, there was a guy from South Carolina there. Would you be interested in coming and working for this show? And he's like, you got to have a health history. It's like $50-$60 for the license.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he said, it's about 4 hours from here where I run in South Carolina. I'm like, well, I'm 6.5 hours away from Nashville, where I'm from.
Right.
He's like, it won't be worth your time. I like when people talk to me in the Mid-Atlantic area, when they find out I'm shooting from the Nashville, Tennessee area, it's always, it won't be worth your time. They never ask me any money. It's just, That's the automatic answer.
Because they know in their head that you've been around a little while and you're not going to come for peanuts. You're past that stage now, and
yes,
they kind of just make that business decision, Yeah.
Yeah. But they don't even throw a number out. It's just, they don't even ask, what will it take to get you to come here? Right. It's just automatic. It's not worth your time.
And I don't understand the licensing anyway, because I know South Carolina, I know North Carolina isn't, I know Tennessee isn't. It seems like a gimmick to me all the way around, but I could be wrong. But
it is. It's just another way for a state to make money.
Yeah.
But I do know when you sign in, some of those sheets, the promoter has to go back in. And it's like, well, how much did this one get paid? And it's like, you got to report all that to the state. And it's like, well, most of these states that have licenses have a state income tax.
Right.
Oh.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So I kind of noticed, and I kind of noticed that throughout. I'm like, going through all the states that have the licenses, I'm like, well, most of those are state income taxes, and it could be why. You're going to have to pay their old Uncle Sam a part of that payday.
That could be it. That's so gay. Hey, that could be it. Well, obviously, as we're kind of getting near the end of the show here, one thing I want to do is put you over, man. And I know this whole show has been putting you over, but I want to put you over for the work you've been doing in the gym, man. I got to say, you're really showing a lot of effort, man, and it's showing results. I want to say, man, I dig the look, and I like where you're going with things, man. I'm sure there was some health decisions in that, like you said, you got up to a really heavy weight there just before COVID. But talk about your decision to get healthy, man.
I mean, big changes in life. Got divorced. And said, okay, I've got more time for me.
Yeah.
I would get off work. I'd go straight to the gym before the kids got out of school. That way I was getting home from the gym right about the time the kids were getting home from school. So it was that personal decision to just go ahead, get in the gym, because the first person to ever critique one of my matches was at NWA Main Event, Freddie Morton's auction house. It was Tracy Smothers. And he told me, Larry, if you got in the gym, you could go anywhere in this business you wanted. And I know I put it off for way too long, but that was me being daddy.
Yeah.
First, putting my kids and family before wrestling, and now my kids are teenagers.
Yeah.
One's 18, grown, already in the business. So now my youngest don't care anything about wrestling. Nothing. So he's in the high school marching band, and so that's his life. That's what he wants to do. I support him.
Yeah.
So, but no, the gym was just, for a shoot, I deliver doors and windows, so I lift all day.
Right.
So now I get off work, I go lift more weight.
I'm sure it's made your job easier being stronger too, though, right?
It has. It has.
Yeah.
Shaun Hoodridge has always told everybody, before I started in the gym, he's like, look, Cooter may not look like he's strong. He's that country boy strong. His looks are deceiving on him. He said he can snatch you up and sling you around. He don't know his own strength. And now I'm in the gym, so it's like, now he knows how strong he is. And so it's a game changer. And everybody's told me, because I've said something about when Aiden graduates, which is my 15-year-old, when he graduates, later on in that year, stepping away from wrestling.
Okay.
That way my body's not broke down.
Yeah.
If I find somebody else I want to be with, me and her can go do whatever, and not have to worry about scheduling it around wrestling.
Yeah.
And that and everybody's like, man, the shape you're getting in, you can go till you're 55. I'm like, I don't want to go that long.
Right.
Bodies. I'm like, the body's more beat up than what people think. So that's kind of my goal. 2028. That may very well be the end of Larry Cooter in ring.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, you've got a good resume, but you're going to continue building that resume. That's good. We always kick it to the Sheik for the final question, man. Can't believe it, but take it away, Sheik.
All right. So if you look back so far on your career, you still got some time left, but if you look back on your career right now, what's the favorite match you've ever had?
Early days, it would have been Matt Catalano, where I learned the most from.
Okay.
That was before 2010. here lately, I've been in Kerry Awful's career, the majority of his career. So Kerry's always fun to work with.
Yeah. I remember when that guy first came in.
Something different to the table.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I've had some of his students come up and tell me about when it was me and my brother against Kerry Awful and Eric Hayes at Porter's.
Right.
I don't know if you were there
I was.
And he's like, I got nervous, messed up a spot, and Cooter, gave me a knee trembler, put me in a rest hold, and was like, slow down, kid. We still got a ways to go in this match. And just to hear his students come up and tell me now, because he tells all of his students that story.
That's cool, man.
So Kerry Awful is probably my favorite opponent. I mean, I've had battles, Biff, tagging with him, going against him. Those are probably the two that we could go out there, not see each other, and just say, see you in the ring.
That's awesome. Yeah. I mean, I remember Eric and Kerry when they first came in to Porter's, and yeah, that was a good crew, man. Some of the most fun ever in my time. And I always looked forward to coming. And that's when you're in the right place, is when you have them butterflies, not really for the show itself, but just showing up and seeing the fellas, I guess that's why
absolutely.
The Right Way reunion is such a good thing for us, because we love to see everybody and get to see everybody and all that.
Every time one of those reunions happen, I'm always booked somewhere like 3 hours away or whatever. I'm like, I can't make it this year.
Well, there's always next year, brother. So there's always next year.
I know. I didn't know there was a new group, and I got added to it. So now I'll see the dates a little bit better and can kind of plan out.
Well, good. Yeah.
A little better now.
Well, that's good. That's good. But man, thank you so much for coming on and telling your story, brother, and talking and telling some funny stories, man. It's good to talk to you, buddy. And I really appreciate you coming on the show.
Oh, I appreciate y'all having me. And hey, look, October 18th, I'm back at NICW. So if y'all want to make a trip up to Stewart, Virginia, or Floyd, I don't know what city he's running in just yet, but I'll be there.
Dude, yes, I'm coming, man. I'm so bad about traveling anymore, man. I like home now, but I'm with you, man. I got to come see y'all. So let's make that a point to make that happen. Thank you so much for coming on the show, brother. We had a blast back in the day, and I'm just so glad to call you a friend. And thank you for coming on our podcast. We greatly appreciate it.
I appreciate y'all having me. I appreciate what y'all are doing, because I do enjoy listening to some of the old stories from before my time and even during my time. So
yeah, that's what we're here for, man. Thank you, buddy. We'll talk to you soon, Cooter.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
All right, thank you. Thank you,
Cooter.
Say it, Quinton.
All right, buddy.
Thanks, brother. All right, y'all. That was Larry Cooter. We'll be right back to wrap things up with Quinton and the Sheik on Give Me Back My Pro Wrestling.
Relive the glory days of Memphis wrestling with the Retro Wrestling Review USWA podcast. Each week, we go back in time to review USWA Championship Wrestling from the 1990s, episode by episode. Join us for watch-alongs, behind-the-scenes stories, and exclusive interviews with people who were there and lived it. Whether you grew up watching it or you're discovering it for the first time, this podcast is your ringside seat to Memphis wrestling history. It's all a part of the WrestleCopia Podcast Network. Listen now at USWApodcast.com.
That's right, it's the Talk of Middle Tennessee, the channel you love to hate and the channel you hate to love. It's Brian Turner from Brian Turner's VHS Rehab. And if you're looking for matches from Wolfie D to Jerry Lawler to Dusty Rhodes and the team that put a pimp before your eyes and a goatee between your thighs, Booty Call and Athena, go to lostwrestling.com. See, I made it easy for you. Brian Turner's VHS Rehab. Booyah.
Hi, this is Mike Needham, host of the Reckless Abandon podcast with Mike Needham. We invite you to jump on your favorite podcast platform and search for the Reckless Abandon podcast and give us a listen. I'm sometimes joined by a part-time podcaster, part-time co-host, and full-time wife, Tiffany Nicole. We talk wrestling, we talk pop culture, we talk local events, local happenings in West Tennessee, and a ton of other stuff. But be sure to check out the Reckless Abandon podcast. Find us on Facebook. Also, look up the Microgroup Podcasting family on Facebook and see some of our other podcasts we have out there. Until next time, make good choices and always remember, no dollar, no dice.
Oh, Q, man, that was awesome, right? I mean, I really enjoyed that. Of course, I got to talk a lot about my time in the business, but I learned a lot about Larry too, which is cool, man.
Oh yeah, man. Like I said earlier, I just, damn, I remember when he started and then, we're talking about stuff and it keeps going. And I'm like, man, he's put in a lot longer than I realized because he's still going, man, hot and heavy, man.
Yeah, with only a couple breaks here and there for his kids and stuff. But yeah, I've always liked Larry. He's always been a good friend to me. I got to manage him as we talked about, which was a lot of fun. It was a good learning experience for me. So I definitely appreciate that. I hope y'all enjoyed that too. Who we got next? I'm not going to tell you, but if you want to know, the best way to know is at GMBMPW on Facebook, Instagram, X, and YouTube. Thank you guys for following, liking, sharing, supporting, all that. Mostly we appreciate you listening. If you can, though, go out there and share something, like something, check it out, tell somebody else. If you have a friend that listens to Jim Cornette or listens to Conrad or listens to Gene Jackson or listens to whoever, let them know about us. Tell them, give me back my pro wrestling. I think we got something for them that they'll enjoy, we hope. One other thing I want to put over, since June, I've had the blessing to work with these guys called the Wrestle Magic Podcast. I want to put them over real quick. Michael Gross, Maverick Rose, Michael Scully, and Sean Bush. Some great guys. They cover a lot of stars. They also cover a lot of topics, but they most recently interviewed Heath Slater and Ken Anderson. Go check them out anywhere you can find them on YouTube, Wrestle Magic, and tell them Give Me Back My Pro Wrestling sent you. Other than that, Q, I don't have anything else. What do you got, man?
Go buy a shirt.
That's right. And do it for the Right Way Wrestling reunion. Like we said, 100% of the proceeds through September 30th goes to the reunion. All right. I think that's it, bro. So for the Tennessee Hangman, Larry Cooter, the Plastic Sheik, Jared Street, the Territory Wrestling Guru, Quinton Quarisma, and myself, this has been Give Me Back My Pro Wrestling.
Don't forget.
Jeremiah Plunkett, we've known each other for almost 20 years. We know how each other can be in that ring. But you went to a new low, Plunkett. And you see, General Manager Escobar, he's giving me my rematch. It's a bull rope match. But you see, that's not good enough for me, Plunkett. I want the Hangman Rules bull rope match. No touching all four corners. And you win by pinfall, knockout, or tap out, Plunkett. That's how it's going to be August 30th. I hope you're ready. Because you see, for the wages of sin is death, and the Hangman is just waiting around to watch you die. See you then.
With a tear in my eye, this is the greatest moment in my life.
This has been a James Rock Street production.